What's up everyone, welcome back for another video. Thanks for joining me. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and all that good stuff. Let's get into this video. Temperature outside was 27 degrees. Just double check it, 27, feels like 19. You're probably thinking that I'm crazy for doing this today, but I'm gonna try to install the King suspension today. These guys. Get this out of the way. Not sure how much I'm going to wind up filming today because of the temperature out, and I don't know if the camera's going to like just crap out on me. But we're going to get this installed. The hard part, it should be relatively fast to install these because I have taken in and out the suspension that's in the truck now. Well, not completely, but the upper control arms and all that stuff. I've done some, whatever. Anyway, I have done other mods to the truck. I did control arms, I did the GM high angle ones, and I did the peak suspension ones, so I do have videos on those. You can check those out. I'll link them up there maybe, or somewhere else in the video. So taking this apart shouldn't be that bad. The longest part of doing this is probably going to be when it comes time to adjust these. So it says to take them off the truck to adjust the height. It says it because of something with limited clearance, so we're not going to worry about the clearance. We're just going to deal with it because I don't want to have to take these in and out 100 times. And I don't want anything spinning on me, so once it's bolted in and that's it. So let me, I'm gonna get the car jacked up in the air. I'm gonna do one side, get that one completely banged out, so then I could show you the other side. I'm gonna do the driver's side quick because it's, I'll show you the snow situation in a little bit when we get to that part, but I'm gonna do one side, then we'll do the other side, and we'll do the other side together. So I'll be back in a second to show you the other side. All right, update time. Well, break time too. So let's go look at this quick. I did one side. Took a little bit longer than I was expecting it to take, but that's mainly because putting the reservoir onto the bracket's a little bit of a pain in the ass. That line doesn't like to move very much, so there's not much giving it. But driver's side's done, passenger side isn't yet. You could look at the droop difference, I guess. That's why it's I guess it's long travel then, right? How much lower that's sitting. I actually had to jack the car up a little bit more to get the tire on. Now I don't know if I have that on wrong since you can't see the King sticker, but I could always adjust it. It's just those two clamps, and you don't even have to take the wheel off to do it. So if I figure out that it's wrong, I'll fix that. Right now I want to chalk it up to the stickers in the wrong spot because the pictures I looked at, all the hoses are in the correct orientation. If I run it with that hose on the front side of the bracket where you like see the hose more, the sticker points down too much, and the way I have it now, sticker's pointing up too much. So we might figure it out. Maybe sticker's in the wrong spot, maybe I messed up, but it looks cool. So now that I got practice doing the driver's side, gonna fire out the passenger side, get that all done. I'm not sure if I'm gonna adjust it today because it's a little chilly out still, but luckily, judging by where we are, where it looks like it is now, we could adjust it without taking the wheels off, so that's a plus. This is how we look right now. Old one, that's the driver's side one, and new passenger side one. Pretty cool. That's the peak kit, by the way. Peak coilover kit. Alright, so it sets you up over here. Probably gonna wind up time-lapsing this, but I'll tell you what needs to be removed really quick, and then start doing it. So not sure how the lighting is, but you have your ABS/brake line bracket. That's a 13 millimeter, and then you have a 10 millimeter on the back of the knuckle here. Since this is a peak upper control arm, it's a 9/16 on the top, 7/8 underneath, holding onto the knuckle. The shock is held in with two 15 millimeter 215s, sway bar. The top is a 15, the bottom is a 13. The top of the shock is a 15 millimeter, and that's usually the most annoying part, is taking this off, because you get like an eighth of a turn on the wrench at a time, and they have like a nylon lock, so once you crack it loose, you still gotta undo it the entire way. But let's get going. Here comes the fun part of installing the new suspension. Thankfully, they clocked the top of this correctly because there's no studs that go through the top hat, so you you gotta bolt it in. So thank God, because you can't really get your hand in there. But you're gonna send this through, and then you just gotta make sure you send this through your control arm, so you'll actually be able to bolt it up. So we're all in, and the last thing we got to do is bolt up these little sway bar things, 10 millimeters under here, drop down. Hopefully it just fits right in. Might have to take the whole bracket apart. I must say, for the most part, not too cold. My toes are completely numb, but the rest of my body, pretty all right. So, little tip for you if you're installing these yourself, do that sway bar thing before you bolt the sway bar back on to your lower control arms, because it is a complete bitch. I had to take the wheel off on the other side. Undo the sway bar there, undo the sway bar on this side, just to get it to line up. All right, so camera died again. So where was I? Oh yeah, sway bar. So I know it says in the instructions to bolt everything up, then do that sway bar spacer thing last. Do it before you bolt the sway bar back together, because it's a pain in the ass. So trying to lift it up in place. I mean, the floor was wet too, and I was on like a creeper, so I was sliding around a little bit. But trying to lift it up in place with one arm, with one hand, and trying to get the screw in with the other one, not a good look. So unless you have an extra set of hands, maybe you could try it. But otherwise, just leave the sway bar unbolted, connect all the stuff, then connect the sway bar back together. Let's take a look at how the passenger side looks. Then we'll put the wheel back on and see how unlevel this is. Let's see how low it's going to drop. Moment of truth. Actually, not too crazy, but I got to move it back and forth a little bit just to make sure everything's set, and maybe wait for the springs to settle a little bit. Took the truck around the block. Feels pretty good. I mean, obviously can't tell I didn't hit too many bumps, but looking pretty nice. So like I said earlier, I'm just gonna maybe give it a day or a couple days or so for the springs to settle. I don't know where the tripod went. For the springs to settle, then I'll worry about adjusting it. And like always, if you're doing any suspension mods, gonna need an alignment afterwards. So make sure you go for an alignment after you do any suspension mods. Now, just for the hell of it, I'm gonna measure ground to fender to see how high we are front and rear. Driveway isn't exactly level, so I mean we'll just get a general idea. This is the rear, 39 1/4. Front, 38 1/4. Basically got to go up an inch in the front. As of now, it is really bright behind me. Let me fix this. Give me a second. All right, it's a little better. Close the garage door. By those measurements, got to come up an inch in the front. The little sheet that came with them about adjusting 5 turns equals 1 inch of lift. In a day or so, I'll check it again. Hopefully we only have to come up at 1 inch, which would be pretty nice to make it nice and level. Old shocks, looking at them again, I think both of them are leaking, so about time these kings finally came. I was gonna give you any advice on installing these. Very straightforward, pretty easy. The 2 hardest parts of it, the first one was installing that little plate on the top that holds the reservoir, which isn't even that hard to do, but that was one of the harder parts. So if you could do that, then if you understand how not that hard it was, that's how easy this install is. Absolutely, the hardest part was messing with the little sway bar spacer thing. The directions say to bolt everything back together and then do that last. Don't do that. Leave the sway bar unbolted, do that, then bolt everything back together, and then it'll be a lot easier for you, because trying to lift that thing up in the first place, it's a little on the heavier side, and then trying to do it by yourself, one-handed, while using that little stubby little bolt they give you to put in the thing, not a good look. So just leave it unbolted, gives yourself more wiggle room to play with. Really, really not too bad. So, once again, I want to thank you guys for joining me. I hope at all you got a little information about this install. It is just a suspension swap, really. So it's like, take one out, put the new one in, nothing crazy going on. The peak upper control arms and involved a little cutting, so it's a little more in depth. This is basically unbolt one, bolt the new one in, and you're done. All the directions are there step by step. Tells you how to take the old one out, put the new ones in. Pretty clear cut, pretty simple. So if you have any questions, leave them down below. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, hit that alert bell so you know when I'm dropping another video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.